in over the next 30 minutes. My name is Bob Bud. I'm a Double Diamond executive, president for that Triple Diamond here the next few weeks. Out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Work very closely in the same city as David Moses, and he was tired this evening and asked me if I would fill in and provide a little bit of training, leadership training for the Millionaires in Training conference call. So we want to give you all a very warm welcome. No call will be complete unless we at least mention initially the product that is driving this company. This product, Moringa, was, when I do my presentations now and I present the problem being that we have a situation, even in the developed world, in North America, we have a situation where we are overfed and undernourished. The food we eat today is severely lacking in the nourishment and nutrition that our bodies need for healthy cellular growth. And there are many reasons for that. We won't go into all those this evening, but suffice it to say there is a lack in the nutrition in the food we eat. And I tell people, what a favorite apple, a single apple that you can eat every day. And when you eat that apple, it will give you all of the nutrients that your body needed, all of the nutrients that you're not getting through your present food supply, all of the antioxidants, all of the anti-inflammatories, all of the omega-3, 6, 9s, all of the amino acids, all of the essential amino acids, and all of the verifiable nutrients that your body needed. Most people would eat that apple every day. Of course, we know every one of us would go out, we would fill our houses with those apples. We would buy those apples by the bushel if need be, but we would definitely go buy those apples. Well, the beauty of this opportunity is that it may not be an apple, but it is a plant called Moringa oleifera. And this plant is known, this tree is known as the miracle tree for good reason. 46 antioxidants, 36 anti-inflammatories, all of the omega-3, 6, 9s, all of the amino acids, and besides that, 7 times the vitamin C in oranges, 4 times the vitamin A in carrots, 4 times the calcium of milk, 3 times the iron of spinach, 3 times the potassium of bananas, 2 times the protein of yogurt, and gram for gram, 15 times the fiber of wheat. And folks, Zija is the Moringa company. We've got an incredible product, and it is backed up by an incredible compensation plan, incredible leadership with an incredible company called Zija International. Now, the purpose of my call this evening is to take this to the next level and talk to you about leadership, building leaders, developing a world-class business through leadership. And give me 1 second. I took a drink just before I came on the air and swallowed the wrong way, and so just had to catch my breath there for a moment. But it's time for new leaders to emerge all through this company. I truly believe that the top earner in this company over the next several years has probably not even joined this company yet. That is how quickly this business is growing. This company is growing. Now we've been inducted into 5,000, and the reason being almost 1,000% growth over the past 3 years. But what this company needs now, and what we're looking for in each of you, if you are indeed a millionaire in training, then what we're looking for, what Zija is looking for, is leaders to emerge. And those leaders will emerge sometimes where you least expect them, sometimes when you least expect them. But to be a true leader, leaders need a servant's heart. Every great leader through all of history, time, immortal, has been a leader who has led with a servant's heart. You can talk in religions like the Christian religion, and Jesus washed his disciples' feet. You could go through the Mahatma Gandhi and how he served his people. You could go to one of the greatest presidents in American history, JFK. He said more about the people in your team than you do yourself. You need to care more about helping those that are seeking and wanting and needing that help. You need to care about them and their business, because the greatest way for you to build your doctor's call is millionaires in training. The greatest way for you to build a world-class business is to develop others within your team who are making money, who are successful, who are going to grow and expand their business. And we're looking for leaders who are visionary. People who are not afraid to stand out. People who truly believe they can make a difference. Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And one of my greatest heroes in the business world, the late Steve Jobs, said, it is the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world who actually do. Folks, we need to be leaders who are willing to step out and act by faith rather than fear. Every decision you make will be motivated by faith or fear. But here's the good part. You and I get to choose which it is that we will follow. Sometimes we're afraid to pick up that phone, afraid to make the calls, afraid to go talk to that person that we just overheard was in need of a way to earn some money, afraid to go talk to someone who we may know has a need of this product, and we allow fear to cause our decisions rather than faith. We need to be willing to step out by faith. We need to make our decisions by faith rather than fear. We know what we have here. We know how powerful this is, and yet more often than not, we are the ones that limit our own business. We limit our own ability to press on and become a great leader within each company. We need to be consistent. You know, if I could put one word on the leaders, the true leaders that I recognize within my team, they are the ones who are consistent. If there's a call, they are on it. If there's a meeting, they are going to be there, and they'll be there a little early to see how they may be able to help. If there's something that needs to be done, they will do it. If there's a goal that needs to be met, they will strive to get there because they are consistent. They are determined. They are focused on where they are going. We need to be the leader that we look for in others. No coach should ever have to beg his team to show up on the field. Miami Dolphins play it on TV right now. And you know, I was watching that for a few minutes. Imagine if the coach was on the phone all day calling his team, please show up tonight. I'm really waiting to show up for this game. Really hope you're there. Or maybe it was training this afternoon, and he's calling there, please, I really hope you come to the training this afternoon. No coach should ever have to beg his team to show up at training. And no business coach should ever have to beg his team to be on a conference call. No coach should ever have to beg his team to show up for the business overview. No coach should ever have to beg his team to do what they need to do to be leaders. If that is their calling, if that is what they want, then the best way to show that is to be consistent, to be determined, and to be focused on where you're going. Remember, what you focus on will always expand before you. And if you're focusing on the negative will expand. If you're focusing on the positive will expand. But again, you get to decide what you will focus on. And I want you to remember that if nothing else, people, you know, they don't show up at the meeting, they don't come to the training, they don't take the time to even do their own research and understand the product, and yet they'll blame their leader, they'll blame their upline if their business isn't building like it should. No coach complications. There may be times when, one of the people you thought would join your team doesn't join, or even worse, they do join, and maybe they quit the next week. That is all a part of the journey, and it is all a part of how God tests us and proves us as whether we are worthy to be a leader. No coach should ever have to beg his team to show up. We need to be men and women of action. No excuses. And I don't mean to be going through this and to be hard on anyone. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. No excuses. Understand that you're an independent business owner. Not a dependent business owner. You are independent. That means you own your own business. So you have no reason to make excuses. You have no reason to feel that you have to give an excuse. You answer to no one other than maybe your spouse. But beyond that, you own your own business. There is no reason to make excuses. So you might as well just be honest. If you're not going to be at the meeting, you're not going to be at the training, say, I'd just rather not be there today. There's no reason to make excuses. We need to be men and women of action. If we are going to be millionaires in training, if we are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, then we need to be willing to take action. No excuses. As I say that, I'm looking at a picture of a frog lying on his back, and the big caption over it says, sorry, I can't today. My sister's friends, mothers, grandpas, brothers, grandsons, uncles' fish died, and yes, it was tragic. Guys, we laugh at it, but my son says it best. We can make excuses or we can make money, but we cannot make both. As a leader, you've got to be willing to lead by example. Teach duplication. Don't ask your team to do something you're not prepared to do yourself. Keep your system simple. Don't complicate it. Remember, the definition of genius is to find something complicated and make it very simple. We need to be genius, or maybe it's genii in the plural, but we need to keep the system simple, and you need to follow whatever system your upline is teaching you. But most of us within the organization are following the pass plug system. That is, you keep their interest with a phone call. You call one of your friends and you keep their interest with what we have here, usually leading with the product. Secondly, you pass them on to check out a website, a video, whether it is the Discovery Channel video, or whether it is the Zija information splash video. But whatever video it is, it could be on your My Zija website, or maybe you have a team video site, but you need to pass that person on to check out a video of the information. But lastly, a very important part of this whole process, of this system, thirdly, you need to plug them into your upline with a three-way call. So I'm going to go through this in a little more detail. Understand, there will be two things that you must get good at. Don't think this is a complicated business, nor don't think that leadership needs to be complicated. You need to be good at two things. And the people that succeed, the people that excel in our business, are the people that are good at these two things: booking and closing. Hear me? Booking and closing. Everything else has been done for you except booking and closing. You need to make a list of 10 friends and family, people with whom you have closest relationships, people with whom you have a trust level, influence with, people who would do what you do, people who would look just because you ask them to. You need to make a list of those 10 people. I don't care how long you've been in business, don't care how long you've been doing this business, don't care how many other businesses you were in before this. You need to sit down. If you're going to be a millionaire in training and you need to make a new list, you need to keep updating that list. You need to keep refreshing that list. People say, well, I don't know anyone. Well, go join an association. Go find a new church. Go find a new club to join of some sort, or association. Somehow you got to get around some people. Make a list of 10 friends and family. Then make a list of 10 people you know who are entrepreneurial. You know the ones that are motivated by success. They're motivated by money. They're business-minded. They're goal-oriented. Who's the most successful leader you know? Put their name on your list. Don't put people on your list who have no other options. People who, I often say they're broke, busted, and disgusted. You need to be looking for the most successful leader you know. The person who knows everyone. You know who that is. We know people who know a lot of people. We need to be looking for the best athlete we know. The most successful entrepreneur you know. You need to be looking for the person who everyone goes to for advice. You know, that go-to person. You need to put them on your list. The best teacher you know. The person most involved in your community. The most optimistic person you know. The most health-conscious person you know. The best salesperson you know. You need to make a list of 10 successful-minded people. And you put those together, you've got 20 names on the list. And you need to do that and get it done. Don't take a month to put that together. You need to take an hour and put that together. And then call them. Do not send out blanket text or blanket emails. We all get 1,000 of those a day in their inbox. And you know what we do with them? It's just delete, delete, delete. You need to call them one by one and book them to view the video on your team site or the Discovery Channel. You'll notice I didn't say invite them. You need to get a commitment from them. If you don't get a commitment, you've just got a very loose, flimsy invitation. Think of it this way. How many people would show up at the dentist's office if they were invited to attend? Invited show up. They never show up. The dentist's office would be empty. They book appointments for people to show up. And you need to book people to look at your video on your team site, to attend with you to the local meeting in your area, to go with you or log in and meet you on the webinar, to be with you on your conference call. You need to book them to look at what we have here. But you also need to tell them that you'll be calling them right afterwards. Find out when they will be looking. If you don't, they will just procrastinate. They will never go look at it. So find out, get a time. Book them as to when they will be looking at that video, when they will be coming on that conference call. And then you call them immediately afterward. And once you have them on the phone, do not say, "Oh, would you like to speak to my upline?" Well, of course they're going to say no. Nobody wants to speak to someone they don't know. I don't, you don't, neither will they. So you need to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be a little more cautious about how you word it. And all you're going to say is, "Sue, just stay on the line. I don't know one thing I want you to hear. Just stay on the line a moment. She's going to go nowhere." And that's when you do the 3-way call and you bring your upline on the phone with you for a 3-way credibility and closing call. Now, you're going to do that. You're going to have them on the phone with you, and you're very simply going to say, you can put it in your own words, but remember, all info needs to come from someone other than you. And so when you do the closing call, you're going to say, "Hey, Sue, it's Bob calling. Hey, did you get a chance to look at the link on that website, that video link? Excellent. What did you like best about what you saw?" Absolutely. That's what most people say. That's what I like the best. But now it's time to show you how the two of us can make some money here with this incredible product. Let me introduce you to Joe. Joe is on the phone here with us. And that's when you would posture your upline. People will listen to your upline far more quickly if you postured them, if you have given them some credibility that your guest can look up to. But you're also going to posture your guest as someone you really want on your team, someone you would like to work with. Now, your upline is only going to talk for maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes, and they're going to get off that call. They provided some credibility. See, you maybe haven't made a lot of money yet, but you can bring your upline on and borrow their success until you've created your own. But when all is said and done, even want on your team, trust me. Closing simply means getting them to make a decision. Your job and what you need to get good at. If you are truly a leader in training, you've got to get good at helping them make the decision, helping them make the right decision, but basically helping them make a decision. The worst thing you want is somebody sitting on the fence. You don't know if they're in, they're out, they're up, they're down, they're around. You need them to hopefully make a decision right there. But if not, then you need to give them a second exposure. That is, maybe you've had them on a conference call. Well, the next exposure may be to get them to your website, and then you're going to ask them to join your team again. And then maybe the third exposure after that will be to get them to a local meeting in your area, and then you're going to ask them again at the end of that to join your team. You see, you're the one who has influence with your guest, your friend, someone you know. Always use words like we, together, team, partnership. Nobody wants to be leaders by themselves. Nobody wants to feel like they're struggling and not knowing how to build it. And so you're going to say something like, Sue, I want you on my team. Let's do this. Let's work together. We can make an incredible partnership here. I really want you on my team. What do you say? Will you join my team? We, together, team, partnership, team. What you've done is given her a picture of the relationship you would have in helping them and working with them to build a solid business. Now, I want to talk just for a moment about your goals. You really need to have a determination to always achieve your goals. Guys, so often, imagine, we'll talk about football game. Imagine a football game, and nobody cares whether they win or lose. Nobody cares whether they really get a touchdown or not. Nobody cares if they get a first down. They're just out there to have fun and change the world on the football field. Guys, you got to be determined to achieve your goals. Your goals either mean something or they don't, and if they do, don't you dare let go of them. I want to talk just for a moment about a young lady, Margarita, who's on the call, probably here this evening. I hope so. Margarita is a brand new distributor in my business, and actually in Kristen Jones' business. And through a good friend, Nigel Eaton. And Margarita, she on Friday evening, remember, that is the end of the cycle. She was a brand new distributor, and she was one away from reaching her goal. Do you know, now it's 2 o'clock in the morning where I live, and I was still up working with her, because I will not go to bed with any of my team. Any of them who want to reach their goals know that I will always be here and ready to help until the stroke of 2 a.m. We were joking the other day, my wife and I said, the day we have joined Zija, we have never been to bed one Friday before 3 a.m. Never. That's why it's hard for us to understand these 9 a.m. Saturday meetings. If everybody's doing the job they should, we should still be sleeping 9 a.m. Saturday morning, because we shouldn't be in bed before 2 or 3 in the morning. But Margarita was determined to get that person. And her time zone, it was just before midnight. And I said, Margarita, you know what? Okay, next week's a new week. And she flew back in a text. I thought you said I had till midnight. Why would I give up 10 minutes before? Guys, I love that spirit. Right there, I knew she was a leader in training, a millionaire in training, because her goal meant something to her. And even at midnight, she would not let go of that goal. Harpo, another guy in Calgary, I've watched him, even when he's been faced with struggles. And, one gentleman I know very recently, he really thought was going to join his team. And at the end, the guy didn't come through, but that didn't stop Harpo. He realized that is nothing but a momentary setback. And if we ever Harpo was a football coach, he knows well on the football field, if his players allowed a little momentary setback to knock them out of the game, they would never win a single game. Imagine a football team, the first time they fumbled the ball, saying, oh, that's the old right here, it's never going to work, we're never going to get a touchdown, they just took the ball from us. You can realize how silly that would be. And yet we do the same thing when we let go of our goal for something as simple as a fumble, something as simple bondage. They never get an encouraging word. They never have someone recognize what they do well, what they do right. Let's make sure that we're a different company for that and recognize people on our team for what they do well. Don't always be quick to recognize what they don't do well, although it's good to step in and provide training and be there to encourage them and maybe guide them in another way, but be very quick to recognize what they do well. Train and immunize your new team. I say immunize, I hope you know what I mean, but teach them that there will be rejection. Expect it. I mean, one of the greatest heroes I have ever known in my life, a man by the name of Paul Robertson, once said, call your friends and family first and get your disappointments over with quickly. Guys, expect rejection. They don't understand what you're doing. If they understood, they'd be doing it. So don't get discouraged by it, but teach your team to expect rejection. If they expect it, they're not going to be blown out of the water by it. So many people, they say, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And the first person that comes along, and maybe it's a brother or a sister or a mother or a father, and they share the opportunity, and that family member says no. And they say, already, then I'm out of here, I quit. Guys, expect rejection, and you will be disappointed by it. You'll say, hey, I was told that would happen. It isn't exactly like they told me, and you won't talk to someone else. Don't expect everyone to understand. They don't. You understand that the vast majority of people still believe, I shouldn't say the vast numbers are changing rapidly, that many people still think that network marketing, relationship marketing is a pyramid scheme. They don't know any better. So a little bit of pity on them, a little bit of understanding. They just don't know. But I love what was on it was in the Financial Post just a few weeks ago on the 3rd of September. In the Financial Post, there was an incredible article on the direct approach, they called it. And here's what they said. While multi-level marketing companies are often dubbed as pyramid schemes by their critics, in actuality, they are now filling a niche, bolstering incomes and adding to the economy. Kind of nice when you've got the Financial Post telling people what we've been saying all along. Guys, organize your team. Teach them that some of their team will quit. It's unfortunate, but that's what quitters do. They quit. They've quit before, they'll quit again. They can't understand why no business ever works for them. But the business isn't the problem. They are. This business works. People always say, they say, well, does Zija really work? Well, I'll guarantee you Zija works as long as you do. I know Zija works. I don't know yet whether you will work, but I know Zija works as long as you do. Guys, we need to immunize our team so that they understand some people will quit. And that's just life. It's the same, or if you think about the gym memberships that were taken out on January 1, and people worked out for a week or two and then quit. Think of the diets that people have gone on for a week or two and then quit. Think of all of the many things that people have started and quit. The best thing we can do is just not be one of them. Don't be a quitter, but teach your team, immunize your team, so they know some will quit, but not everyone. They need to understand that not everyone's going to want it as bad as you do. It's just the way it is. And real, lasting success is going to take some time. Rome wasn't built today. It's going to take some work. It's going to take a little bit of effort. But guys, it is worth it. That's the bottom line. Is there sacrifice involved here? Absolutely there is. I will not be working a year from now, 2 years from now, as hard as I am right now. Why? Because right now I'm building momentum. I'm building my team. I'm getting things in place. Think about Bill Gates. Do you really think he's a hard-working guy today? But I'll tell you, he was initially. Do you know that Bill Gates, for 2 years, when he was starting Microsoft, for 2 years, they say he never one night made it home to his bed. He was found sleeping under his desk or with his head on his desk for 2 years. on Monday through Friday. The Monday night movie there, a training call. Wednesday night, straight talk with Rusty Yankee. Thursday at noon, 12:30 Eastern, we've got the Ask the Scientist call. Saturdays, the Go Faster, Go Builder training. I mean, we have opportunity calls happening virtually every second night. We have every first Tuesday of each period. We've got the corporate power hour on. There's so many conference calls. Many teams such as my own. We do a lot of webinars simply because it allows me, enables me to present the business to someone in Nigeria or someone in the Philippines, or it could be someone right across my own city. But it enables me to expand my influence through my team as a leader. We've got conference calls. We have local venues. There is no one can say that one single tool is all you will ever need, because depending on where you are, who your team is, where your team is, the level of your team, the level of your leadership, that will determine the various tools that you will need to use first, foremost, and mostly. But you only know that through a little bit of experimentation. Get to know the tools. Recognize the importance of staying connected. If you were to take, and we're done here, but if you were to take a bed of white hot coals, and if you were to take one of those little coals and put it off on its own, all by itself, for 5 minutes, it would become black and cold. It would no longer be white and brilliant. It would no longer be hot and throwing off heat. It would become black and cold. Guys, if you think you can build this business in isolation from others, you will very quickly become black and cold. That is, you just will lack that momentum. You will lack that energy, that excitement. Unfortunately, no one wants to join your business if you have no excitement, no energy. Lastly, true leaders, and I just can't say this enough, never quit. Never give up. Never give up on their dreams. They recognize that only they can limit themselves, hold themselves back. Guys, it's time to cast it off. See what you're capable of. All your old beliefs and limiting paradigms, cast them off, and you need to rise and be the leader that God meant you to be, and that you can be, and that this company is looking for you to be right now. In closing, if you have a pen, jot this down. Go online to YouTube, type in the words "facing the giants," facing the giants, and you'll see a little 2-minute clip from a movie called "Facing the Giants." And when you watch that movie, it'll sum up everything that I've just said in a little brief 2-minute movie, "Facing the Giants," a 2-minute clip of that movie. I'm going to encourage you, be the leader in training that you were meant to be. Be the leader that this company needs you to be, that your team needs you to be right now. God bless you. I want to thank you for being one of you here in training call this evening. I'm going to open up the call and have a chance to at least say good night to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you at the top.
Thank you very much, Richard Branson, Florida, with guests. Thank you for right here.
Thank you from Vancouver. Thank you.
Michael Stackman, Sacramento, California. Thank you very much. Beautiful call. Really appreciate you. My call's off the roll. How did I get to that?
Thank you for your call to our daily advertising.